Oh, we are live. That's right. We're live. And today we have a very special show because we are going to be doing a live draft with the Nerd Herd. And this is not a mock. This is the real deal. This is the real thing. We're here for the whole shebang. It is going to be a best ball league on Sleeper, and there will even be a prize for the winner, assuming somebody can beat me, of course. If not, we'll just settle for second place, and you can get the prize as a second place person. But I will be posting the link here in the chat momentarily. Faith and Fantasy, what's up, homie? I'll be posting the link here in the chat momentarily. I wanted to do some sort of fun game to decide who would get in, but there's no way to post the link in the chat and only be able to have one person pick it. So it will be a true free for all. So make sure that you are ready to go, because once I put this in the chat, it's going to go pretty quick. Your opportunities to get in this league with me are not going to last very long. So make sure that you are here, that you are ready. And I'll tell you what the prize is here momentarily. Ryan's here. Poor Jahan Dotson. Yeah, he's seen better days. I really like Jahan too. So it's disappointing to see how things have gone for my guy Jahan Dotson there, but it's what happens from time to time. Oh, he went to the Eagles? I didn't even see that. When did that happen? Oh, I missed this. Hold on. Hold on. He got traded to the Eagles? Woo! I was getting ready for the show. I didn't see this. Well, my goodness, now he's even more buried. That's crazy. Well, there you go. Sedated Fork here's Matt's here, Ryan's here, Brendan's here. The gang is all here. So, guys, here's the plan. I mentioned it a little bit ago. I will be posting the link in the chat. I wanted to do a fun game. I wanted to figure out a fun way to decide who was going to be in the league, but there's no way to post the invite in the chat without it just going bonkers and everybody just getting in. So I'm going to post in the chat here momentarily. Here's what you're playing for. First of all, you get to hang out with me. So that's a fun opportunity in and of itself. But more importantly, the winning team of the best ball league will get a free league review from me for next season. So this is something that I do on my own on the side. And I did 40 of them this offseason. But basically, I go in, I look at every team in your league, and I make a little podcast about your league. And then I do like a power rankings and things like that. And it's just a fun time for everybody. So I will do that absolutely free for the person that wins the league. So should be pretty fun. So I'm gonna give a few more minutes. I want to make sure that people have a chance to get in here. I'm not gonna wait too long because look, you snooze, you lose. But I don't want a person to miss it. I got here at 12:05 and I didn't get a chance to get in. I want to give everyone a chance to get in. I want to give everyone a chance to be a part of this league because it's going to be an absolute blast. The Commanders need a receiver. Hint, hint. Ben Sinnott season, absolutely. Glad you targeted him this offseason for sure. We'll see. I know Luke McCaffrey hasn't had the best camp, but as Sedated Fork said, could have a fun year now. So this will be wide open, but I've drafted so much Terry McLaurin in best ball. I've traded for him in Dynasty. I have him in redraft. So yeah, I'm all about it. With this preseason, Dyami Brown, maybe he's a good deep threat. So he could absolutely be a viable part of this offense at some point in the year. So, all right, let's get to it. Did we just lose connection? I hope not. I hope we didn't lose connection. Make sure you guys are all the way caught up. Because I'm about to put the chat, the link in the chat. So we'll see. Am I froze? I hope not. I hope I'm not froze. That'd be a terrible time. It's about to start. I'm going to copy the link right now. And the first 11 people to get in on it with me will get to join. Oh, I feel bad. Faith in Fantasy Football is asking if it's back up. I don't see anyone else saying. I don't feel like anyone else is saying that it's frozen, so I'm guessing it's probably just on your end. I want to give you a little bit to get a chance to get it back. It happens. Happens to the best of us. Got a little Red Bull in my system today. First day of school for the girls. So they're all there. All right. I'm gonna post it. Faith, Fantasy Football. I hope you're good. I want you to be good, my man. I do. All right. Let me post this. There we go. Paste and go. All right. There we go. Man, you guys are fast. Woo! Hustling. I like it. 7 in, 8 in. There we go. 9 in. Wesley, we were just talking about Jahan Dotson a little bit. We've got 3 teams left. Winner of this league gets a free league podcast from me. So you definitely want to get in and be a part of this. It's a free league. Not going to cost you anything. Get a free league podcast from me. So I think, are we full? Nope. Still have a couple spots left. Here's your chance. Tristan's ready for some college trivia today. I might have to get Tristan on the show here soon to talk some college stuff here. Last two spots. 1 spot, no spots. Time's up. Let's do this thing. All right. Let's see. Mox, I can usually just say, everybody's in. Oh, wait, it's saying, oh, somebody dropped. That's why. Somebody dropped out. We got 1 spot again. Oh, Powerfold hopped in at the last moment. All right, so let's see. Draft time today for right now. There we go. There we go. Time per pick. We are going to do 60 seconds per pick. 60 seconds per pick. Then I'm going to randomize the draft order. There we go. It's random. Oh, of course, I have the last pick. And okay, I think we should be good. All right, and I'm going to start the draft. I'm going to share my screen as well. All right. There we go. It's officially live. Let me share this as well. Let me present it. Share screen. Sleeper. All right, this is a Superflex Best Ball Redraft League. Superflex Best Ball Redraft League. All right. There we go. Oh no, it's showing up funky when I put it on there. So we'll put it on the normal computer. We'll leave that there, and then we'll sit this guy. There we go. That's better. Just PPR. Just PPR. Can you randomize it for me one more time real quick? Yeah, I hear you. I got the last spot. Definitely didn't do myself any favors here. And this is fun because I do underdog drafts, but I haven't done any normal redraft type leagues other than Scott Fishbowl. I think that's the only one. So the values are different. And typically when you're doing redraft, it's not super flex as well. So you have a little bit of that. So lots of stuff all over the place on this one. Should be very, very fun. As I mentioned, some of you guys may have heard it. Some of you may have not in the chaos. The winner of this league, I will get with you, or second place, because assuming I come in first. But the winner of this league, I'm going to do a free league review podcast or preview for your league after the season. So I'll talk about your entire league. You can pick whatever league you want of yours. I'll talk about each and every team inside your league, give some advice here and there, talk about where teams are strong, where teams are weak, and then I'll do a power rankings at the end of the show, usually about a half-hour long show. So that will be the reward for the team that comes in first place. I see another man of culture in this league with Bonji Bonj. This is rough. Didn't review and rules or structure settings. So here, I'll read it off for you real quick. Let's see. I don't think the league settings are in here. Just the roster settings. So it's normal setup except for it is super flex.
Oh, come on,
but
dude.
let me pull this up here. I can pull up the scoring here. So point for every 25 yards passing, 4 points per passing touchdown. Pretty basic with all that kind of stuff. Rushing, 6 points per touchdown, a point for every 10 yards. Receiving, you get 1 point for a reception, so just normal PPR, and it's basically it. So pretty basic. No, not tight end premium. Just basically a very basic vanilla league. Then you add in a super flex component in best ball. So other than that, you're very basic league. All right. So far we have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, first two guys off the board. Then we have CMC, first non-quarterback off the board. Jalen Hurts at 1-4, Breece Hall at 1-5, CeeDee Lamb at 1-6, Lamar Jackson at 1-7, CJ Stroud at 1-8, at 1-9, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase at 1-10, and then Sedated Fork sniped me at 1-11. I was fully prepared to go Anthony Richardson. That is not a possibility now, but I'm going to go risky for the biscuit. I got Bijan and I've got Amon-Ra. So in a super flex, did not take a quarterback with my first two picks. Tempted to, but with it being a redraft, even though it's the super flex, I'm willing to play it a little more fast and loose. Older guys obviously don't scare you too much. I talked him up too much. I know. We should have done this before the quarterbacks podcast dropped, and I gushed on about how he could just be an absolute monster this season. So it's my own fault. I did it to myself, basically. All right after that, Sedated Fork took Justin Jefferson. Just Josh goes with Joseph Burrow. So he's got that stack with Chase and Burrow. Josh, you worried at all about the holdout? Are you worried at all about the holdout? Because that could be a tough one. Chase is definitely somebody I would have considered had he been there, but that does scare me a little bit for sure. James said this is the first best ball ever and first 12-team league in a hot minute. So, man, you're trying all kinds of new things today. This is you're a man of culture. Look at you, man of culture. For me, I typically do 12-team. If I'm going to err on either side, it tends to be 14 over 10. Although I'm open to doing 10-team leagues. I love the extra challenge. I love how shallow it gets so quickly. So I prefer 12, then 14, then 10 for me. With Dotson being traded, is either Dyami Brown, or Zacchaeus worth a stash? I'd be willing to stash both of them, but especially Dyami Brown. I think he's a really good deep threat receiver. Not a guy that's going to be good consistently, but I think he's a player. I think he's a player that is going to be a nice boom bust type player, especially with Jaden Daniels, and he's got a nice, accurate deep ball. So I think he'll be pretty good there. All right. Alt Ball 24, glad to get in a league with you guys. Absolutely. Adam, who knows? Maybe I will be doing a podcast about your favorite league after the season's over. So we'll have to wait and see. All right. After Joseph Burrow went, we have Garrett Wilson. So Jeb Bunks, he's also fading quarterback through the first 2 rounds. Then we have A.J. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Dak Prescott. Another Bonji is also fading quarterback a little bit there. Picked up the rookie Marvin Harrison. Then we have Jordan Love going at 2-9. 210, we have Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor at 211. And then Sevlon, I pronounced that wrong. Sevlon going with the 2 QB approach, just like the Fantasy Lord did. And snatching up those high-end QBs. Then came around the turn, got himself some Mr. Travis Kelce. James said, we'll see at Sedated Fork. I've been playing a keeper and dynasty team with 10 for the last few years. It is crazy when you get used to 10, because my home league, I only played in one 10-team league. It's my home dynasty league that I've been in for 12 years, I believe it's 12. This is year 12 for us. It's a 10-teamer, and once I started playing 12, I did not realize how much more shallow it got so quickly. And then you try a 14-teamer, and it's woo, that can be rough. I did a 14. I'm in 2 14-team super flex leagues. You think a normal super flex league, quarterbacks go quick, and a 14-teamer, they are gold, absolute gold. So absolutely fun. I like playing in those deeper leagues. I think it's a fun little challenge to be had. While we're doing the draft, as always, feel free to get your questions in. This is a good opportunity where I'm laser focused. Won't be distracted by other things. Well, other than the draft, obviously. But this is a perfect time to get in some of your questions, trade questions, league questions, whatever you want. This is the time to do it. Oh, no, my guy, Alt Ball. Let's go. He is all running back, whether he wanted to be or not. Gets Travis Etienne there at 3-3. Right before him, Puka Nacua goes at 3-12. All right, the Fantasy Lord, one of only 2 teams to go back-to-back quarterback. That leaves him pretty wide open to take whoever he wants here. So let's see who he takes. Y'all want to let HJ get back to me so I can get the double stack? That would have been nice, but he's already gone. He's already gone at 2-8. You missed him. Adam said, my app isn't working for some reason, but it let me use my queue. Okay, so that's good. So he was your guy. He was your pick, so that worked out. What do you expect from Bo Nix this year? He looked not so good in camp, but really good in preseason. It's going to be the week 1 starter. Sedated, I think that's a great question. I was hoping there was some sneaky way Chan got back to me. I knew it was unlikely, but I really wanted it to happen. I am lower than others on Bo Nix, but I do have to admit, he has looked good in preseason. But we've seen a lot of guys over the years look good in preseason. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not crazy high on him. I am still fading him. I think once defenses get a little more complex, they're not just running their base vanilla stuff. I think it's going to be a little trickier. He's going to be not a guy throwing it deep. And if you're a guy that is a good game manager and wanting to get a lot of yards after the catch, you need some big yak type players. He doesn't have a guy like that really. Maybe Marvin Mims can become that guy, but that's asking a lot from a player that we only saw minimal things from in year 1. So my guess is I'm not overly high. I think it's a lot like a Brock Purdy. if you were to put Bo Nix in San Francisco, I think he would do pretty well because I think he's going to be accurate and be able to hit a lot of the short to intermediate stuff. But defenses are going to test him. They're going to make him throw deep. And I don't know. We'll see. James saying, never mind, I should pay attention to the draft board. Can I go ahead and drop Amani Bailey? Just want a chance of a piece of that running back room, but he seems kind of buried. Yeah, if anything, I would be going after Carson Steele over Imani Bailey. Justin saying, how long should I wait to add to my running back room with draft capital if the season is going as planned? I am number 2. If you're number 2 in contender mode, I'm absolutely adding running back. I understand the hesitancy wanting to wait and see not get injuries. But you also don't want to cost your team a win or two. So I'm looking at probably week 6 to 8 is where I want to add that running back. All right, I'm up on the clock. We had Puka Nacua, Travis Etienne. My heart broke with Devon Achane, Drake London, Kyron Williams, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Olave, Tua, Derrick Henry, Brock Purdy, and now I am on the board. I am tempted to go with Caleb Williams here. I like what I see, but I'm going to keep playing it a little fast and loose at the position. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs here. I think he's going to have a really good season there in Green Bay in his first year. Ooh, then what do I want to do? I am going to go with, I'm going to double up at running back, I think. I'm going to take Isaiah Pacheco. There. Get myself a strong running back room, and then hopefully I'll be able to make it work out receiver, tight end, quarterback. But in a redraft, I still like getting a strong running back core, and we'll kind of see how things play out. Not opposed to going heavy wide receiver in best ball, but I'm not as worried about correlation in a non-tournament format. So I don't necessarily need to pair up, my top receiver with his quarterback or anything like that. I don't worry about it as much. Josh saying, nah, I'm not really worried about a holdout. Just living life on the edge, baby. I like it. Nick's has some Josh Allen vibes to me, thinking back to Allen's after the draft fantasy value. Get you. Yeah, because stylistically very, very different, but I understand that for sure. John Dotson is dead to me, according to Peter, or at least the Commanders, I guess. Steven Jr., I'm late, but I'm here. Steven, too bad. We would have loved to have gotten you in here. We are doing an actual league. This is not a mock. We are doing a real league here. Winning team gets me doing a full podcast about their favorite league. So unfortunately, missing on that, but you can still enjoy the fun. You can still enjoy hanging out, talking with us, having a good old time. Brandon saying, sorry for Achan. I appreciate your condolences. Brendan saying, bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Chris saying, rookie draft Sunday. Do I go with Worthy or Brooks? Oof. Good news is I don't think you can really go wrong here. I think either option is a fantastic option. I go best player available. For me at this point, it is Worthy, but they're so close that I would not mind going either way. So close. But I have Worthy slightly ahead of Brooks, but both fantastic options. We've got a big tight end run going this round. So after I went Pacheco, we've got Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid, then Caleb Williams, Jalen Waddle, Nico Collins, Trey McBride, Bonji saying, I see you not going quarterback, and I'm going to keep playing chicken with you. I'm not going there either. I'm going to take Mark Andrews. Then to Fantasy Lord, he went ahead and took Mike Evans. Or to alt ball 24. He went 3 running backs so far. See if his little green dot isn't there, so maybe he wasn't able to finish. We'll see. But he took 3 running backs thus far. We'll see what he takes at this point. All right, real quick. I don't do best ball. What is it? Great question. I think sometimes there's a lot of terms that we just throw around in fantasy football and we just assume everyone knows what they mean. And we shouldn't assume that. So, best ball, you don't worry about your traditional starting lineups, basically. Instead, it is just going to take your top starting quarterback, your top, um, your top two running backs, top two receivers, top tight end, top two flex spots, and your top super flex, which may not always end up being a quarterback in a best ball league. But it automatically puts those players, whoever scored the highest on your team, it automatically puts those in. So it takes away some of the traditional guesswork out of your starting lineup. And it just gives you the best possible players that you could have based on how they did that week. So definitely a little different. I know some people love doing that. Other people hate doing that. So it could go either way. It could go either way. All right, Brendan saying, I'm reaching, but I'm drinking the hype Kool-Aid. Malik Neighbors there. I don't think that's a reach at all. I don't think that's a reach at all. I think that's a great one here. Back to Bo Nix. I have an offer and contender where I give up Bo Nix and I get back Kirk Cousins second and third. It's a 14-teamer. I would do that personally. I would take Kirk Cousins. We know what he is versus we're hoping. Like if Bo Nix turned into Kirk Cousins, you'd be thrilled. Now, obviously, he's a lot younger, but I would do that. What would you offer for Ty Chandler in a 1 QB league? Early third, late second, somewhere in that range. Justin said, got 2 Dynasty happy and took Caleb's instead of having a Dolphins super stack and a Waddle. That would have been fun. Thanks, GP. No problem, Steven. No problem, buddy. Love the Neighbors pick. Yeah, I don't think that's a reach at all. I really don't. So alt ball, he ends up going with Kenneth Walker. Malik Neighbors off the board at 411. Like I said, Brendan Shelley, I think that's a good pick. Pittman, and then we have Devontae Adams at the turn for Sevlon. And then we've got Herbert there at the 5-2. Alt ball back on the clock. He's been setting his queue. I know he hasn't been able to be here live, but he's been setting his queue. So we'll see what he ends up coming up with here at the 5-3. Ooh, let me get some of this Red Bull. It was an early morning because, first day of school with the girls, you got to get up extra early. You got to make sure their fit's right. You got to make sure all their school stuff's packed, make sure that they get fed and all that stuff. So it was a little bit of an earlier morning. I was in summer mode. I got to get back into the school mode routine. We'll get there. We'll get there. Alt ball going with his first quarterback. So now we're down to just 2 teams. 2 teams without a starting quarterback. We'll see who pulls the trigger first. Is it Bonji or is it me? Playing a little quarterback chicken here. All right. Let's see. Any other redraft questions? Startup questions? Trade questions? Get these in. Get these in right now. So far for me, I'm looking at my team here, and obviously this is a real league, so I got to be careful what I say fully. But I'm looking at my team here. I got 3 running backs, so obviously I feel fantastic about my running back room. I got to figure out what I'm doing at basically every other position, though. And Bonji, he ended up ripping off the Band-Aid. So that makes me officially the last team to take a quarterback, which I think you get a gold star if you do that in redraft. I think that's a thing. I'm pretty sure. Jared Goff off the board right after Jaden Daniels. Beer Jebediah guy offering a 26-second and Palmer for Sutton in a league I'm not going to win. I should take the pick, right? If you're not going to win it this year, you're more in a rebuild. It's not my favorite. I'd like to get somebody other than Palmer, but getting the second is worth it. I would love for it to be in 25. So maybe either somebody a little bit better than Palmer or move that 26 up to 2025. Brendan, I don't know if you heard me before. Probably like an early third. Worst, like the most I'd be willing to give is like the 212. Obviously, you don't know for sure if yours is 212, but it's got to be a real late second. That would be the best I could possibly do, but leaning more toward that early third. Matt, I'm doing my best, man. I might cave here. We'll see what happens at my pick. We'll see who's still available. There's a few guys I have my eye on. Faith saying, if I would have known it was best ball, I would have jumped in. I'm maxed out on season managed leagues already. Yep. It can be tough when you're setting all those starting lineups. It can be definitely tricky. What rookie running back that has surprised you the most so far? I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a surprise, but I've been really impressed with what I've seen out of Jalen Wright. I think he's gonna be an absolute monster. Wow, going 3 quarterbacks. Woo! 3 quarterbacks in the best ball in your first 5 picks. That's bold, Bunks. That's bold. Woo! All right, that puts me on the clock. All right, I'll do it. I'll take Captain Kirk. I have no problem taking Kirky K here. I see you guys are pretty thirsty for that quarterback position, so I got to make sure I get somebody starting caliber. And I got to load up on the wide receiver room here. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp. I think in best ball, he's going to have some really, really big weeks there. You're surprised, Bucky Irving. Bucky, watch out, Rashad. I'm just saying, watch out. Bucky's coming. Might not like it, but he's coming. Joe Mixon, that was the other one I was kind of thinking about there, Josh. Was very much so considering a Joe Mixon snag there, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right. Oh, so Dave Fork saying, wish I could have gotten that James Cook pick back. I was on the phone. Sedated, if you want, I can pause it. I think. Can I pause it? Yeah, I can pause it. If there's somebody now, you can't take any of these guys because they're already started going. But if the player you wanted instead was still on the board, I'm willing to change it for you. I'll give you a few seconds to respond. Nah, keep it going. All right, we'll keep her going. All right. So leading up to my pick, I don't think I mentioned it. Deebo Samuel at the 5-4. Jaden Daniels, Rich would love that pick, obviously, at 5-5. Jared Goff at the 5-6. That's who I was really hoping would come back. So thanks a lot, Jerome. I wouldn't have minded pairing him up with Amon-Ra, though. Doesn't matter as much if it's not tournament style, but still, it would have been a fun little stack to have there. We have Devonta Smith at 5-7. Kyle Pitts at 5-8. Another guy that I was kind of hoping would come back to me. Aaron Rodgers at 5-9. Matthew Stafford at 5-10. James Cook at 5-11. Kirk Cousins at 5-12. Cooper Kupp at 6-1. Alvin Kamara there at 6-2. Joe Mixon at 6-3. DJ Moore at 6-4. And then Powerful said, you can talk all the crap on him you want. I'm going Rachaad White here. Rachaad White right here. Justin saying he wanted Kamara or Mixon to come back to him. Cook wouldn't make it back around. That is for sure. I don't think homie meant to take Mixon, LOL. I don't know. Maybe. I would have been fine with him there. I would have had no problem with him. I was considering him with my pick. In redraft, you do have to be like in Dynasty, I'm taking best player available no matter what. Oh, I see. You wanted Mixon. I got you. But in redraft, I'm a little more willing to have to go out of my comfort zone and take a guy earlier or later than I wanted to. Because you're not able to move players the same way in redraft as you are in a season-long league. Chris, is this a mock draft or a legit league? Chris, this is a legit league. This is the real thing, the full shebang. This is happening. The winner of this league, in fact, gets a full league review for absolutely free, breaking down their league, every single team in that league, and even ranking the teams. So, yeah, it's a pretty sweet prize. For what it's worth, I normally charge around $100 for those. So absolutely free. It's a free league to play in. Doesn't cost you anything. So it's a pretty good prize, unless you're like, I don't even like your podcast, I don't want to hear you. Then it's not a very good prize. Then you won't like that very much, and I apologize. But you're in the league, so suck it up. Adam said, quality RB play that is. Ryan saying, wait, the timer on my end is messed up. Is it saying 2 minutes? I don't know. It should just be a 1 minute. It's a 60-second timer per pick. So, Ryan, I do apologize if that goofed you up. If that's so, and a guy that you want is still on the board, I'm happy to pause it real quickly and get you somebody else. Chris, awesome. Wish I would have gotten into this. May have to get your breakdown for the home league. Yes, it's been fun. I did like 40 this summer, which honestly was probably too many. But I have a waiting list, and I feel bad because I want to get to everybody, but I just don't know that I'm gonna have much more time before the season starts to get back to everybody. But definitely we'll be doing a lot. Maybe I'll do some mid-season reviews. And then definitely we'll do more again in the off season. All right, after Rashad White went, you wanted to get a tight end, but it auto-drafted me Diggs. If there's somebody at tight end that you want right now, I can pause it, and I can put them in your spot instead of Diggs if you would like. So I'll give you a tiny bit here to be able to do that. Adam saying, yeah, I'm watching the draft having to close out, pull back when I'm on the clock. It's freezing. That's crazy. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Wanted either Kittle or Ingram. So I can give you, Kittle's gone, but I can give you Evan Ingram. So let's see, change the player. We'll give you Evan Ingram there. All right, so Diggs is back on the board. Ingram is gone. All right, resuming. Sevlon, I apologize. Yours is freezing. Man, everybody, it's glitchy for everybody. Fortunately, on the stream, it's been pretty smooth. Oh, Sevlon, you weren't allowed to take him. Sorry. We're going to have to pause the draft, reset it. Can't take Terry McLaurin because I want him. No, I think that's a fantastic pick. I have so much Terry McLaurin this year. I think he has a monster season. And now you just removed the slight threat of anybody else being a part of this. Like, McLaurin's just going to absolutely eat. James saying, hey, 0 IB, I guess. Hey, you got to go with what's there. And you're just going best available. Sometimes it just works out that way. I get it. All right. After, I think we talked about Rashad White, Evan Ingram, Tank Dell, DK Metcalf, Amari Cooper, George Kittle, Christian Kirk, George Pickens, Terry McLaurin, Aaron Jones, and then right here, Alt Ball getting his first receiver at 7-3. So I don't think we have anybody. Well, both Jeb and Sevlon, no running backs so far. And, oh no, yeah, just those two. No running backs. Ayuk is going to go to the Commanders now. Not facts, just to screw with me. That would be an interesting spot. Although Jaden Daniels to the moon, if something like that were to happen, that would be amazing for him. All right. Sweet. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Adam saying he's in the middle of nowhere. I get that.
On, dude.
It's all good, man. James Conner going off the board there at 7-4. To Fantasy Lord, if you're in the chat, That's not who you wanted. I'm happy to pause it real quick, get you who you wanted. Justin say I'm going with the little known 0RB 0 tight end build. Hey, you do you. You do you. But yes, the fantasy lord, let me know if you need me to change that. Can't remove anybody after you that's already picked, but I'm happy to pause it if James Conner was not in fact the guy that you were going after. I know that there's been some glitchiness. Oh, you chose last second. Okay. All good. Glad to hear it. All right. So James Conner there at 7-4. Then Jaden Reed at 7-5. So I have a trade that I want to ask you guys about. You guys ask me about trades all the time. So let me ask you about a trade. Let me pull it up. I have this in one of my leagues. I would get... Okay. I am a contending team. They want Najee Harris. All right. I'm a contending team. They want Najee Harris. Now at running back, I do have Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne as my 2 starting backs, but I don't have a lot after him. Nick Chubb is really the only back of note. So I'm very, very, very hesitant to trade this guy. But, which is actually a similar trio that I have in like 3 or 4 leagues somehow. It just kind of worked out that way. Would you trade a first-round pick, probably middle of the road? Would you trade a first-round pick to give up Najee Harris? Or would you get a first-round pick for Najee Harris, even if you were a contender and he was really your only trustworthy running back after your main 2? That's one I'm struggling with. 2 good running backs, but I think I can contend. I think I'm one of those top like 3 teams. It's tough. Gabe said, would you move off Jamar Chase if you're contending? Depends on what I would get in return, but I am not I am not going to give him a discount at all. Like, even though there is some real questions about whether or not he'll play, you still have to pay the same price. Like, I'm not giving you him a discount because he's so young and he's still going to have years left on his career. So that's kind of where I'm at. Cruz and say, do it and flip the first rounder. Ryan said we had someone trade a second-round pick for this year, and it was 204. Ooh. I mean, if it was Trey Benson at the 2-4, I do kind of get it. Swift falling hard, says James. Yeah, he was. He finally went off the board to just Josh, scooping up some value there. I like that. A little scoopage. Nice little scoopage here. All right, I gotta look at my board now. All right, let's see who we got. Oh. Don't like this dude. But, hey, Deshaun Watson, very capable QB2. And then wide receiver. Oof. McConkadonk. I gotta go McConkey here. I think he's going to be an awesome best ball pick this year. He might not do it every single week. He might not be as consistent as we want. But in these middle rounds, I love some of these upside rookies. Ryan saying he was eyeing Deshaun Watson there. Eric saying, I think you take the first. You can always flip it later. Yeah, it's tempting. It's tempting. It's a good offer. James, considering trading Chase in my keeper league where we can keep for the round drafted. I've had him at the 5th round value for a couple years. What should I look for in value? I mean, keeper is always a little bit weird. I would say, I mean, it's hard to value the picks. So you're saying you would keep depending on the year. I'm just gonna go for it in players because I don't want to mess up the pick values. But in players, like I'm still looking to get okay, if I'm trading Chase, I would still want to get a Drake London plus. I would still want to get a AJ Brown plus. I would still want to get a Malik Neighbors plus. So I'm willing to do it, but I need like a good plus on top. McConkadonk, I just want to rename my team right now. Do it. Just take the leap, my friend. Do it. You want to. McConkey the donkey. There's a lot of good things you can do here. Who was it that tweeted out? Somebody tweeted out that he was. I'm gonna get the quote wrong, but Lad McConkey sounds like the villain in High School Musical or something like that. Pretty impressive. So let me recap here. In the 7th round after Terry McLaurin, which I was very sad to not get, Aaron Jones, T. Higgins, James Conner, Jaden Reed, Calvin Ridley, Rashee Rice, and then we have DeAndre Swift, Ramondre Stevenson, Stephon Diggs, Zay Flowers, Deshaun Watson, and then we've got Lad McConkey, Najee Harris, Zamir White, David Montgomery, Rome Odunze, Xavier Worthy, Brian Thomas, then Xavier Worthy. So we're starting to see some of these rookies go off the board. I was tempted by Odunze, and it did feel like I kind of took them out of order, but I just think McConkey is going to be better this year. Long term, I still have Odunze, but yeah, short term, I think I want McConkey. Ad blocker and Windows update also causes live stream buffering. Okay, that could be. Hero RB strategy in full effect now for my guy Ryan. Hero RB, baby. All in. All in. Oh, man. Yeah, you've got Ryan, which one's you? Yeah, Gibbs. Gibbs is your only running back there. You're doing that. Bonji's doing that as well. Breece Hall is his only running back. So I get it. Jalen Warren off the board to the fantasy lord there, getting his 3rd running back. Will Levis, the Levi's himself, going there at 8-10. Can have some of those big weeks in a best ball. Justin saying, I was looking at Odunze as well. I have the Bears already, but I need a running back, and I don't think the first half of the season will be good for Odunze. Timed out trying to decide between them at 8-4. I get it. I've been there. All right. So, guys, we've got about 5 more minutes. Got about 5 more minutes on the live stream. Obviously, I will continue drafting. Oh, I just realized I left like the same comment up there forever. Whoopsies. My fault. My bad. It's on me. I've had the same live stream comment up there forever. But just about 5 more minutes left in the live stream. But obviously, I will continue to draft because
come on,
it's a real league. I'm saying, yeah, I'm thinking Levis is going to gobble up some rushing TDs there from that quarterback spot. Kyle saying traded Kittle and 2 25/3. One was mine for Knicks and a second. Should be high. I'm desperate for a starter after McCarthy went down. I'm rebuilding, but the league anti-taking forced my hand. So curious what your league's anti-tanking rule is. Because sometimes you just don't have the right guy to play. It is what it is. So I'm curious to see like what the rules are there. Caden saying, dang, I missed rush hour lunch today. Guess that's what happens when you have to get ready for school. Caden, I apologize, my man. Hate it when that happens, but I get it. School life, got to do what you got to do. Brandon was hoping Javonte made it back. You and me both, brother. I wanted Javonte back in the worst way. Baby, come back. We've got some tight ends still on the board. Keenan Allen sitting out there. The rookie Jonathan Brooks. Mostert getting all them tutties. Oh, there we go. Another tight end off the board. Let's see. Who else we got here? Quarterbacks. Getting thin at quarterback. It's getting thin and desperate at quarterback right now. We'll have to wait and see. So after McConkey went, we had Najee Harris, Zamir White, David Montgomery, Rome Odunze, Brian Thomas, Xavier Worthy, Baker Mayfield, Jalen Warren, Will Levis, Javante, Tony Pollard, Chris Godwin. That's good value for Chris Godwin right there. Brock Bowers at 9-2. Keenan Allen then off the board at 9-3. Good value in there for Keenan Allen. Nobody's liking these old guy receivers. Nobody wants them. Kyle said, you need to get someone who gets points weekly. I have backups and commish won't allow it as starters. Kind of cheeky, but we're a 10-team league. I get it. You got to do what works for your home team, your home leagues. Got to do what you can. Waiver wire, James, I will put all of that in the chat once we wrap up. I'll make sure to kind of get all those loose ends tied up, and we'll talk about it there in the league chat. Today, DeFork saying, was considering Godwin when I took Flowers. That's some really good value. Cruisin said, good luck in your draft. Post team in the comments when you're finished. Yeah, I can post the key, the team later on. Absolutely. We can post the whole draft board so everyone can see it. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Dynasty lunch break. We've decided, I forgot to mention this. We've decided that even if we can't get the live stream video to work, we will still be moving to 2 shows a week, and we'll be looking to have a guest on the other live show each and every week. So appreciate you guys in that. So there should be more coming very soon. And of course, every Thursday we will be here for the Dynasty lunch break. Appreciate you guys. Have the best weekend, and I'll see you guys next week.